Hello. How you doing? Welcome. How's it going? How's your week going? This is a weird day for me. Which also means it's a weird day for you. Oi! First of all, sick animation. Gauntletier and we teamed up. It's mostly Gauntletier, but I made it move a little bit. Show and tell day, it is. Thank God we're not getting eaten again. Not today. Not today. You like the intro piece? That's all Gauntletier. The pieces in the background are legendary pieces from the ages. Kinch and Mike J. Murdoch and Kimberly Cafe. They have contributed to these lovely pieces. So right now we're just waiting. We're just waiting for people to come in. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous to show off artwork. Also, by the way, today, happy October. What are your plans for October? Yellow. Hello. How you doing on a Wednesday? I know. I also woke up extremely early today. I ate cereal. I hopped into a call with Kimberly Cafe. We got some Cafe Zootober prompts done today, which, by the way, Cafe Zootober is an art prompt thing that we're hosting, so definitely check out like my Blue Sky if you want to know more. But yeah, we got our prompts done today. So if you're interested in defeating your art block, Peza, I recommend it. How is the music, by the way? I want it to be there, but not in the way. So let me know if it's like too loud or too quiet. I've been fiddling with it. But yeah. By the way, just seriously, come join us for Cafe Zootober. It is a good time. I got my prompt done today. I'm thinking about tomorrow's prompt. But yeah. Corvus says, I'll have exams every single week, so my plans are to not die. My goodness. I was going to suggest Mario Paint music. Nah. Alright, are we ready? You'll defo join, but I'm caught up with something else. That's okay. Okay, so hopefully I can time myself appropriately with this, but we'll see. I'll do my best. Are we ready? All right. Welcome to October 2025 Draw Along. Welcome. As you can see, I've made a couple different changes. I have a transition now. Thank you. I have also painstakingly edited my my GIF tuber to have my clip. Now it exists on me. These are exciting times. So yeah, let's hop right into it. Your mouth is burning. Excellent. That's good. All right. Our very first bean today is CoffeeText. So CoffeeText says Jesta Cannon from a while back, the RGM 96X Jesta design. I hope I say it somewhat correctly. With extra armor and weaponry, anything that is bulky and gray. So we have all of the cool gray bits, all the cool bulky bits. So you have the little bulky here. You have the little bits of gray, right? It is pronounced like that. Nice. So CoffeeText says, the head's sensor piece was a clear plastic meant for a light-up gimmick. So you can see, it feels like it reflects light. So that's pretty cool. And we have the cannon up here. So CoffeeText says, painted it a shiny silver to go under the orange visor, which catches light better in person. And still, it looks pretty good in the photo. For effects, there's a thin red beam saber blade in the large beam cannon to imitate it firing. So here, you can kind of see it. That's pretty cool. It also catches the light and creates a small glow. The painting is routine, CoffeeText says, but what's new here were the decals all over. The unit number and the initials of its manufacturer, the AE Anaheim, hopefully Anaheim Electronics, and the RC... Oh! Bear Rodeo! Oh my goodness!
I have nothing to share a present for this draw-along. It has been a tough time for me creatively amongst other things. So here's $5.
You should join along with Cafe Zootober. I mean, if you want to, of course. You should definitely do it. Thank you, though. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Bear Rodeo. I almost called you Bear Rodeo. Thank you so much. And let's look at the feet here, okay? Because I see all the little tiny details here. The painting is super awesome. Everything is just so clean. I think this is super cool. Very well done. Also, just a nice photo. I like the composition. Everything looks really nice. Well done. You have a second piece as well. Your second piece is, it says, it was done purely with my drawing tablet instead of my usual mouse-drawn style, which is awesome. I can see a lot of the paintedness of it. Designed after my fox mom OC, Sona Hina, as her daughter, Aim or Amy. I actually never asked you how to pronounce the name. I'm so sorry. Conceived out of nowhere thanks to magic in the bloodline. This was a fun draw thanks to the references I was using and the special someone guiding the process. Aww, they were especially happy with the result, and that's what matters most. Yeah, the texture is really nice. You can see it a little bit here. You can see a little bit of the blending here. I think this is just really gorgeous. Really good. Aim, as in the French word for love. I'm not French. I'm not going to pretend like I'm French. I'm just going to hope that I said it correctly. This is gorgeous. My favorite part of this design is you have a ponytail back here. And I know that I mentioned this to you earlier, but I'm going to mention it again. You have a ponytail back here, and it's like a separate foxtail, so it feels extra foxy. It's just really cute. Also, I like that you break up the character's design with a little neck piece here. That's super cute. And you get to bring in like this super deep blue right here that also reflects kind of like how the shirt feels. I don't know. It's really nice. I like this a lot. Thinks this is a great piece. CoffeeText, thank you for sharing your work with us. This was awesome. Thank you for being our first individual as well. For being brave. I like the floof of the fur, really cute. I agree with you, Bina. Very fluffy, very cute. Our next artist is Mazinja. They say, after falling off from art for a while, I began doodling again recently. These two are pretty recent pieces of something that I've been trying to do lately. The least line work I can get away with, carving shapes instead of building a picture up from scratch. Nice, that's what I've been trying to do. And trying not to take too much time on it, lest I get distracted and or discouraged. So I wanted to show off just the detail in this, which hopefully will translate over. Hi, Jeannie. Hopefully will translate into Twitch a little bit. So you have all the little sparkles. The effects of the powers from the hands are super cool. I like the very light, shiny bit of the lip here. It just catches the glint. This is really pretty. What an awesome piece. Also just the flow of the whole body too. You have like this line of action that goes shoo, 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 oh, and into like the butt and also the hair. This is really, really cute. Cool stance, tells me a lot about the character. All the little details are great. This is super cute. And your second piece of artwork is, let's see, this is the second one. Let's zoom in a little bit. I really like these two characters. The interaction between the two are just super, super cute. Again, the details. Also, like, you're not using line art to define your shapes, which is what you kind of mentioned before. You don't have line art that goes around the little bits and pieces.
Yay.
Yay, Real DSpeed. Thank you so much for the 2 months. Welcome. You made me spin on my screen. No, don't spin on the screen. Don't do that. But DSpeed, thank you so much for subbing and coming back. I really appreciate it. This is adorable. It is. The expressions are so good. I love the angle of the eyes. I love how you're able to get so much detail in without using line art. Like, this is like goals. I want to do this, like, art-wise. So I need to figure this out. This is like very, very clean painting. It's beautiful. This looks like vector art. I know. This would be fun to animate. I agree. It already feels like it's animated. I don't know. I really like it. It's just great character designs, great posing. Again, the posing in your previous one was also just really good. So yeah, this was really wonderful. Thank you for sharing this, Mazinja. Also, I want to learn more about these. What is vector art? Infinitely scalable artwork. So instead of being made with pixels, it is made using math, essentially. But I can discuss that at a later time, because right now, it's art time. This piece is by Makarosc. I don't actually know how to say your name ever appropriately. So this piece features Scorch and his brothers all together for the first time. So you have, hopefully I have this in order, Torun here, Blizzard, Scorch, and Mist. So from left to right, Torun is the voice of reason in the group, usually tasked with calming or containing his brothers. He has a hard head and is strong, but he also has his own sense of honor and is fiercely loyal to his brothers. Blizzard is the resident edgy clown demon. I really like his design, by the way. I love the detailing around the eyes. It makes him really feel like an edgy clown demon. I think that's awesome. He is the chaotic neutral, or so he claims, rogue of the group, and he is a mafia type who deals in dark magic and bad, overly edgy fanfiction. Me too, dude. Literally me too. I also really like the curve of the snout here. It feels, I don't know, it feels dastardly. This is just a really cool design. And then over here, we have Scorch. Scorch is the leader. He is sarcastic and usually apathetic God King, who often roasts people, get it, Scorch, while issuing decrees about whatever seems to frustrate him at the time, such as half of YouTube's user base. That's hilarious. Based? Based? And then we have Mist over here, over on the right-hand side. Mist is Scorch's twin brother. He has air powers and is the most spiritual of the group, and as such spends most of his time communing with spirits, overseeing pacts with supernatural beings, and traveling through different realms or through space. I think Scorch is my favorite out of all of these. Let me zoom out and have a look. I really like Scorch's design. I'll zoom in once more. The red detailing here, along with his own red, typically people would go, oh, you don't put red with red. No, this is exactly how you do it. You kind of go toward pink here, you kind of go toward orange here and here. You have a little bit of white to help break up the space. I think this is really cool. So Scorch is my favorite design. I really like this. This is awesome. Cool piece. I'm glad to see everybody together too. Group pictures are hard. I think you did a great job. Your second piece is a ref sheet of the Qunari, I'm probably saying that wrong, I'm sorry, Qunari race, the main species in Scorch's empire. They're basically fire Vikings with a little bit of Aztec here and there. That is a Wild combination. Historically speaking, that's wild. They worship Surtur and Fire Jontar, or sorry, no, Jotnar. Haha. They believe Scorch and his brothers are avatars of their gods, the Great Faces, which is their name for the fire giants. They are revered for their metalwork and glass sculpting, but are widely feared due to their warlike culture. Yeah, that's what I get when you combine Vikings with Aztec. That would be a very intense culture, and they look intense too. I like the details of the armor here. It feels mobile. Like, this is light, but also like it will protect you. I really enjoy Valheim, which is, you know, a little bit of that Viking core, right? And I wear armor that looks exactly like this. I think this is very, very cool. I like this. I think the detailing of the super spiky ear is also really cool. Why do the eyes disappear in the buckle on the shirtless one? Dog, art is hard. References are hard. I think that such a small detail disappearing is like, I don't know, that's pretty good. Usually when I make references, I might even forget like whole sections of clothes. Dog, it's hard. They got scraped off in battle. They got blasted off. Just, yeah, or they're like stickers. Yeah, I like it. I don't know, I think this is great. It's a very, very clean reference as well. You can tell their whole body type, you can tell what kind of armor they wear. This is really good. This is super clean. Nicely done. And thank you for sharing, Makarosc. Very cool characters. Next, we have Toamac. Toamac says, this is a Hollow Knight style OC after I got inspired by Kai's one. Aw, thank you. This character's name is Beddy. Beddy, because they are a sleepy bed bug. Aww! And they have a little companion here named Fi. Hollow Knight modern day, that's what I get from it too. It feels like modern or office Hollow Knight, and I'm with it. I'm here for it. Beddy offers a free room for any wounded bugs that want to come rest when they travel through their small town. Let's see, what else? Most of the town inhabitants wear modern clothing as well. And at some point, Beddy even follows around Hornet because she thinks that she is a cool warrior. Based. Bug Society develops capitalism, the horror. Dog, you gotta play Silksong. You gotta play Silksong. Beddy is a very sleepy bug, and they spend most of their time sleeping and often falls asleep during conversations. Aww, I really like this. I meant her little sisters, not her. I mean, hey, I think Beddy would also think that Hornet's pretty cool. If I'm being honest, my favorite part, I think, is Fi here, the little friend. I really like that. I really like also that with references, sometimes people will include like emotions and whatnot that show off like what the face is capable of doing. I think that's really important when it comes to Hollow Knight OCs. Sometimes they wear masks. Sometimes the eyes don't move. This shows that this is Beddy's actual real face, and I really like that. They're super cute. Also the double legs, hell yeah. That's awesome. Great character design. Super, super clean. Next, maybe even my most favorite character design that you've ever done. A little roly-poly dog. Bug. Dog. This is a cool bug. Okay. Anyway, second new art. Another Hollow Knight style bug OC, this time a pill bug suggested by myself. Same hat. Bug dog. A roly-poly dog? Yeah. She is a nervous bug that gets scared by new people and will crawl into a ball when they get close. Like if the player goes near her, and she will panic and go into her ball form. Mood? Me when I go outside? Yeah, I really like the little bug form. The little bug form is so cute. I also like that she has a scar here. It says she got a scar on her shell long ago, and since then has always been frightened of new people. So it's storytelling within the design, and I really like that. Gosh, they're so cute. I also really like how you've done the antenna, right? Super, super simple, and I think it works with the Hollow Knight style so, so well. And the clothes are on point. Yeah, I think this is really solid. I can see them as a character within the Hollow Knight universe. If I were to animate any Hollow Knight character, I think this one would be really fun. The curling into a ball would be super cute. But yeah, thank you so much for showing off your artwork, Toamac. This is adorable. Super, super cute. Thank you. Next, we have Traditional Art Pog by NovaXJewel. Nova says, I've been drawing a bit and it's been very relaxing. That's good. Elephants are my comfort animal, so I always loved drawing my fursona for years. So their fursona is an elephant. I wanted to kind of zoom in just a little bit more to show I really, really like traditional artwork, because it's not just you filling in a color with the paint bucket tool, right? You actually see all the little tiny strokes and all the little, like, how you've gone around here on the base of the trunk and how you've moved in from there, that you've gone right here. You can see where it gets kind of pinched in, and then you go forward, right? And it gives, I don't know, it gives just like depth and storytelling to how you made this. I really like this. Also, based elephant, colorful based elephant. I think it's really neat that you have a character that's so bright blue and purple and green and has spots and shapes and stuff, even though when you think of an elephant, they are gray and plain. I think this is great. Great character design, just super fun. This is just a really cute piece. And I'm always glad to see your artwork. You missed the review of yours? That's alright. Because this will be, it is being recorded, and there will be a VOD online after I'm all done. But yeah, NovaXJewel, thank you for sharing your artwork. It's always fun seeing what you do. The next artist is Bumblebeena. This is such a pretty piece. I'm really glad that you not only were able to be a part of this. I know that you're very busy, Beena, and I'm glad that you also entered in this piece. So Beena says, hard to choose, just two. But here's a commission I got to do that pushed me to learn stuff and experiment with backgrounds, which, by the way, you did a great job on this background. Beena says, I am so happy with the result, I have to share it. So this features one of my characters, which of course I'm obviously biased about, but this is my kobold variant, along with two friends, which are over here. So this is Cookie, and then Da Otter, and then way over here is Atlas. Freaky kobold? No way. Bataira, marshmallow kobold. The shading with the fire looks great. I totally agree. The lighting is awesome, and like look how dark it gets also in the background. It not just gets dark, but it like becomes more blue. Like that's like atmospheric perspective, and it's just gorgeous. Gosh. Also, this file is so big. I think I could have zoomed in like infinitely. There's texture in the background of like a canvas, and just I love how I know it's hard to see because my dumb face is in the way, but there's like blurring here that makes it feel like there's actually a nice focus put into the piece. You can see it here. This is blurred because it's in the foreground, and then you get into the actual focus of the camera, and then you get into the background, which starts to lose the detail that you have of the characters here. It's just really gorgeous. I think this is such a nice piece, and I love the character interactions. I love the little firefly here and the detail in the clothes. Everything is really great. I think this is such a fun piece, and you did Such a genuinely nice job with it. Well done. You should be proud. I'm glad that you are. Your second piece is an art fight revenge for Rygus. Bina says, I really love how it turned out. Definitely one of my favorite pieces from Art Fight 2025. This is around the same time. I'm gonna zoom in. This is around the same time that I also did a piece for Rygus. And I remember submitting my variant for this character. And I was like, okay, that turned out pretty good. And then I looked online and I saw this and I went, wow, my gosh, what a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. I love the energy here. I love how it curls around the instrument and curls back behind, that it actually lights up aspects of the character. Like, this feels so 3D and so painted and lovely. You have blues and yellow highlights and it all just works out so, so well. And at the very bottom, you have some of your lightest lights and it lights up the whole leg and just gives so much depth to this character. This is gorgeous. Not to mention, right, if I go back here, look at all the little stars and sparkles in the background. This is just thoughtful and beautiful, and my gosh. So I can see why it's one of your favorites. It's one of my favorites of yours as well. This is just a really, really pretty piece. Well done, Bina. Thank you for sharing your work. What a gosh dang pleasure. The next artist is DSpeed, our very own. DSpeed says, I don't have anything amazing to show off. Doubt? We're looking at some beautiful art right now. DSpeed says, these are just the most recent drawings that I spent a little more time on, and I think they're some of the best work I've ever done. Dog, you can't say that, but then say like, I don't have anything amazing. Nah, this is beautiful. Now I realize how much of a nothing burger my drawings are. What? Compared to everyone else. What? So that's fun. DSpeed, I'm gonna tackle you over the internet, and I'm going to. Okay, hold on. First of all, the composition. Let me actually zoom back out. The composition for this is really cool. I want this as like a full-on art print. I'm not even joking. Thank you, Corvus. DSpeed, I will shake you. Like, just want to grab both of your shoulders and just be like, why? Stop it. Quit being mean to my friends. The composition is really cool. This feels nostalgic. Maybe something like an 80s art print from, like, you know, concept art for a game, or like, this is really, really cool. I like the outline on this too. It feels like genuinely really, really clean. Like, look at how clean your line art is too. It's just like right here, and you have all these little tiny details that would drive me absolutely nuts. Your shines are great too. So right here, you have a nice subtle shine. I wouldn't say subtle, I guess is the right word. You have a nicely colored line. It's not bright white. All of mine are bright white, and I think that I need to start leaning in this direction, because this feels clean and like purposeful, and it adds more color to the piece. Whereas if you just use white, it starts to kind of feel washed out, and that's what I'm struggling with right now. So unironically, I think that you have a great example of how to use shines and add to the piece, rather than taking away from the piece with just white all over the place. And this is just really, really nice. Also, this shine right here, and let me go down here, this shine right here gives so much just 3D-ness to this work. It's really, really cool. I know that you are not feeling so confident about it, but I beg you to reconsider. This is gorgeous. Coyote Rex says, look how the tail turns white before the ring. I know, it's little details like that, and I think this is just really pretty. This feels also really 3D, like the way you have this line go down the middle of the chest and the way the shoulders line up, and I think this is really, really great. This could easily be like a buildable Gunpla-esque model, and it's really great. This is so clean. What a cool piece. I was very disappointed reading your note, but I still, you know, I gotta read your note. And I think that you should reconsider. I think this is gorgeous. This is easily one of my favorite pieces of the set, and I don't know. Like I would want a print of this. It's really cool. Your second piece is equally cool. Aurores Idio says, uploaded the first day of Cafe Zootober. I'm so excited to see what you've come up with. So excited to see. Thank you for letting me know. Same character, same character. How could you tell? Is it because of the absolutely awesome design, thoughtful design for this character? Perhaps. Also, okay, so going back, again, I love the composition. You have like this concept art, or maybe even like trading card-esque like composition, right? And then you have parts of it that bust out of the frame. So like right here with the ear, the tail, this here in the foreground, really, really cool. Commodore 64 spotted, yes. So you also have a really nice texture. I don't know if Twitch will be able to catch on to it, but it's like a watercolor or like thick paper, toothy paper texture, and it's really gorgeous. This feels like it was painted. And then down here, you have all the complicated bits, which I would never want to draw myself. This would be painful. And you did the perspective really nicely. You did all the little details really nicely. I'm pretty sure I had this exact thing growing up. It's really cool. You can see the texture. Good. DSpeed says, I really like how I drew the computers in this one. Me too. This is nostalgic. It's got this unique color that these consoles had back in the day. I'm sure if you found one today, they would literally look exactly like this. So I don't know. I think this is really cool. What a cool piece. The textures, the perspectives, the composition. The composition is really cool. This is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Be nicer to yourself. You deserve it. But also, I know exactly how you feel, and it's hard to be nice about your own artwork. Are you reading these off Discord, or do you have them copy-pasted with the description? I feel like mine was lacking. Don't worry about it. To answer your question, it's from Discord or from whatever sources people gave me. The next artist is SuperWill. SuperWill871. Will says, I'm getting used to drawing zombies. What with the blood and the decaying looks, man, I knew adding these VHS effects would turn out great. I agree. I decided to use Super Winter against the horde of zombies if she ever got separated from her crew, and she's got enough in her arsenal to take them out without even breaking a sweat, considering she can turn her arms into indestructible armor. I love the pose. This is super dynamic, and the overall, let me zoom out again. The overall composition, again, you guys are composition kings today. This is so cool. The VHS effects are sick. I think it feels like when you're watching a VHS movie and it starts to glitch out a little bit. That's what this feels like to me. Like if you put a magnet in front of your TV, your CRT, it starts looking a little bit like this. This is really cool. It starts feeling glitchy and messy, but messy in like a really cool way. Or like when you're playing a game and you get a little too close to Slenderman. You know what I mean? Like this is what your screen looks like. Really cool effects, great posing. I love all the detail of all the zombies too, the different facial expressions, all of their details as well, like, you know, different hairstyles and different parts of their brains that are exposed. This is cool. A ton of detail put into this, and I like the environment and the colors. Everything is very like nostalgic and video gamey. This is neat. Like when you get a little too close to Slenderman, the world is healing. And don't worry about it. But yeah, SuperWill, this is great. I wish that you'd put in 2 pieces. I really like your artwork. But you know what? If you only had to put in one piece to show off, I'm glad it was this one. Thank you so much for sharing. Collect his pages or perish in the most terrible way possible. Next, we have... they're in chat. Aurores Idio. I laughed really hard, by the way, with this piece. This is just so funny. Aurores Idio says, I do not pride in my drawing skills. What? Dog? I'm gonna shake you guys. But says since I draw for hobby and I shit post, that is a-okay. I would like to do more shit posting in my life. But Aurores Idio says, I'm proud of my writing, especially in writing jokes. And before you ask, yes, I had this joke in my mind for a while. Yeah, your jokes are really good. I remember just previous art pieces of yours that were just really clever and had good character interactions, and it was just really fun. This is no different. So we're going to go through the different panels. Good evening, Miss Goblin. What you desire? And then this is exactly like me at the bar. I sit literally just like this, just arm on the table. Oh boy. Great expressions. I love the little note taking here. I love it. That's great. Miss, I know you mean well, but I'm a vampire. Great expressions. I love the movement of the little baddie clip. This is great. Dropping the notepad. Love the askew eyes. Gah! Big gasp. A goblin vampire. I'm gonna strangle you. No! That's not right. That's not me. This is great. This is really funny. I think the gasping panel, this is probably my favorite. This is awesome. I'm kind of considering being a goblin vampire because of this. This is so funny. I love the stars in the eyes. I love the little emoticon bit here, the little chibi, I don't know, head cutout. I don't know what to say. It's really, really funny. This is awesome. You like the no face? Yeah, I want this as like an emote or something. This is great. Really just super fun. Your writing is great. Your art backs up how fun your writing is. Please don't be mean to yourself. Also, please do more stuff like this. This is awesome. I want to see more. Thank you for sharing. I know that it's stressful to share your artwork with others, especially if you don't have confidence in what you do. So like, thank you for taking the dive, and thank you for taking the time to make this. This is great. We need more Aurora art. I agree. I totally agree. Speaking of art, this is Atlas. Atlas says the first image is a huge project I worked on for my new novel. By the way, Atlas isn't just an artist. They also write books. Insane. So while they're learning, they're animating in school. They're an animator, by the way. They're also illustrating. Absolutely just gorgeous work. Great design work, by the way. Very cool logo. And they also just so happen to write a novel or two. Anyway, the new novel is called A Matter of Time. Atlas says this took ages, but I'm pretty happy with the result. So if we zoom in, I really like the logo. The sea with the crescent of the moon. It's so fun. And just also the little tiny details here of the character. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, you're gonna hate me. But like, I really think it's so cool. So it's like an old-timey, like, Big Ben style clock, right? And then in that, you have the detailing of like this hourglass motif of like, it's not just time, but your time is running out. Really cool. Yeah, grandfather clock, Big Ben clock, I don't know what to call it. It's great. And then we have our protagonists, I'm going to assume. I recognize a couple faces here, This is very cool. Great character design. I love the lighting here of this like hot blue that comes in. This is so cool. Really gorgeous. Also your shading is kind of like really cracked. The fact that this is lineless, or at least looks lineless, is awesome. Who's that diva? This diva? Because they also catch my eyes. I love the white, I don't want to call it eyeliner, but like white mascara or something like that. Really gorgeous. That one, you recognize who this is. Great. Where can we find the book? Is it published? I can't answer that question. I'm just an art streamer. But I bet you could ask Atlas, and I bet he'd be able to give you an answer that is better than the answer I'm about to give. But yeah, I love the 3D-ness of like even the card here. Everything literally feels like a super stylized 3D model, and I think that that is really, really cool. And it is really hard to achieve. Great layout, really cool. Awesome, awesome piece. And then your second piece is it's so cute and so simple and like a sticker. And it's so funny seeing the between these two. It's hilarious. So you say, Kiz and Des both belong to Dat Otter, and this is your own babe right here. You were gonna say a sticker? Yeah! I like the white outlines. It's so clean, super minimal shading too. This is just like nice vibes. I don't know, it's really great. I really like, it might be hard to tell, but there's like a little bit of interaction here between the objects and like the ground. So you see a little bit of like the grass as it pokes up. That's so cute. Cute poses? Yeah. The manality of dual. Yeah, the duality of man. This is great. Love the detail, or I guess even love the lack of detail. Also, I know I love these two so much, but she is so cute. I love this pose. Awesome, awesome work. It's neat. I'm glad to see you work with multiple styles, and I think this is a style that you should continue to develop. This is really cool. Thank you for sharing your work. And now, we have our very own CorvusErectus. Is Kiz gonna eat the butterfly? I'd go back, but it's Corvus's turn. Alright, Corvus. Corvus says, I can't find a better piece to put here than this. It's still one of my favorite drawings ever, and I want to do more things like it when I have time. This is insane. The coloring is like hypercolor or something. You have like pink lighting over here and green lighting, and your pink goes into blue lighting, and which then turns into purple, which rounds around to green. It feels like Batman's the Joker if he were smashed into a color palette, and I freaking love it. Yeah, it's like acid trip coloring, and just the detailing of your character and like the expression, like with the fold in of the bottom lip, because you're biting on the lip. This is so cool. Even in little pieces like this, just this right here, you have this such extreme perspective. And like, this is like, it's like the memes where someone throws a ball right into the camera. I feel like I'm gonna get actually hit by this. This is so cool. The hot blue with just this absolutely just dastardly pinky purple. This is awesome. This is really, really cool. What a dope piece. And not even to mention, I didn't even notice it. The arm is literally disappearing into the fucking background. This is hot, and it has energy, and the details are awesome. What a cool piece. Thank you for sharing this. This is awesome. And then for your second piece, you had a thumbnail, which I thought was hilarious, and I wanted to include I wanted to include your thumbnail. So the notes are changed for my second piece because I literally just finished this at 3 a.m. and it seems like I've fallen in love with an experimental piece. And also you have figured out how Procreate gradients work. They don't. And the thumbnail then turns into this awesome piece. Super, super cool. All right, so let's break this down. Let's dissect this. So you say this is supposed to be a sketch to line or paint later, but using Procreate again after so long made me feel like going back to my roots and being more loose. Just a heads up, Kai, when you get to mine, I'll still be at work. I imagine so. You work forever and never leave. Such is the Amazon way. But anyway, Corvus, you wanted more loose stuff, and I think that you've really accomplished it. The textures are great. I love how you have your line art literally just blending into like your arm here. It's so, obviously this is clean as hell. Obviously this is clean as hell. But like the fact that you've kept in the sketch and the movement and the dynamism and all the details. Look at the belt here. Look at the little tummy furs. This is so cool and detailed and daunting and terrifying and beautiful. My gosh. Yeah, your coloring is insane, Corvus. Really, really beautiful job. Please offer this style as like a commission or something. Please, for the love of fucking God, please offer this as a commission style. I would buy so much of this. Just like, it's so good. Anyway, enough glazing. Thank you so much for sharing your work. Really, really cool. Nice job, Corvus. The next artist is Gauntletier. Applause, yeah, Gauntletier. Gon says, this rewrite Sonic piece is definitely still my best piece to date. I really like it. You have the Windows, I don't even want to call it Windows XP, but I guess it's Windows XP. You have the aesthetic down. I really love the three-dimensionality of these like old arrow windows. I don't know what they're actually called, but with like the slightly fried background of the Windows XP background, and just the way he's actually literally coming out of the windows is terrifying and super cool. Yeah, it's really, really neat. And so the whole piece, let me zoom out. It says, "Are you ready?" And he's like, he's coming to fucking touch you, dude. He's gonna come get you. The shading here is really cool. I especially like how hard you go with the highlight on the knuckles, especially. This is cool. Yeah, it's goofy, it's creepy, it's very Hypnospace Outlaw. It's really, really cool. I like that you kept in the weird artifacts of the windows themselves. Sorry, I didn't mean to say touch like that. That's not what I meant. That's not Knuckles, it's Sonic. Ugh. Can I ban a mod? Can I? No. No, I can't ban a mod. This piece is so yummy. Gaunt is goated. It should be Gauntletier. It's very cool. Very, very cool. It's just clean and the colors pop, and I like that you don't just go into a darker blue here, right? You go into like this weirdly warm or hot purple also. This is really cool. It feels like Sonic 3D Blast, but mixed with Sonic EXE and Hypnospace Outlaw, and is gorgeous. Very cool. What an awesome piece. It's Gauntletier. The next piece is this Hollow Knight piece. Vermal, which is this dragonfly fella, and Linen, that's my girl. They are chillin'. She got jump scared. So I really like this piece. Obviously, I am biased as hell, but the shading on this armor is sick. So I know that you were trying to go for the Hollow Knight style, and I think that you've accomplished the like Hollow Knight illustrated style, but I think you've made it messier, and I like that. I like that a lot. Because this feels like choppy and painted and maybe even like carved or banged out like physically. This feels like it has a nice physicality to it and like a three-dimensionality to it, and it's really, really cool. I'm just a messy dude. I mean, yeah, but it's cool. And I like, you pointed this out to me, and now I really can't stop looking at it. You have this, like, there's a 3D ball here, and then sitting behind it is another 3D ball. This hair feels really 3D. I think that's super cool. The expression on her face is great, and I love how it just contrasts these two. She's like angry and upset and jump scared, and he's just like, chill out, bitch. God damn. Like, it's really cute. These two are awesome. I love the painterly vibes that you have. I love that it feels scratchy and messy and just really, really energetic. This is awesome. What a dope piece. I'm glad that you submitted this. Thank you for sharing your work, Gauntletier. Gauntletier. Spider? Spider. The next artist is Blackmagic Peza. Got me blushing and shit? Chill out. Goddamn. Alright, Peza says, my latest work in progress of some OCs that I've been working on. That's all I'm given? Alright, that's fine. We'll dissect it bit by bit. First of all, this is my favorite one. I love the textures that you're able to give, and I know it's hard to see. I couldn't get the drawing much larger without it getting all blurry, but there's like a bubbly texture within the character, and that is really, really cool looking. I like that you have the bubbles of light as they like curve around like the hip and around the calf here, the heel. This is really, really cool. And your line art is like chef's kiss. This is clean as hell. So then we have this character here, which I think she's my third favorite, but she's still really cool. I want to see her, like, she feels animated. Do you know what I mean? Great design, or maybe even like a Valorant character or something like that. Like this is it feels very modern and actiony and just really, really cool. I like the hair design a lot, how it curls over in front of the face, but you have the eye peek through so the expression isn't lost, right? Really, really cool. And I know that this is a weird comment, okay? You're just gonna have to deal with it. The way that this curves around the actual like shape of her body, the little lines here, sells so much about how this outfit works. It's really, really cool. The green also that just leads you down from the feet all the way up to the legs, all the way up to the so it's, you got this green here, and it leads your eye all the way down, all throughout the body. Great. Really, really cool. Kai boob moment. Ah, chill out. It's not about the boobs. It's about the contours of the boobs. Alright, last but not least, yeah, great pose. Really, really cool pose. This is a difficult one to do. Top twin cow boob moments S1. Alright, chill out. Let me just appreciate good art and peace, huh? I remember drawing this character and you testing about like what colors that she would be, and I really like your colors way more than mine. The like pink and green is super nostalgic. I think like I don't know, Dragon Ball Z or something like that, or I guess just Dragon Ball. This is really cool. I like that you also don't have like a stereotypical gold yellow. This is like a yellow that's like weirdly green gold, and it just works so well with how this character is just designed. I think it's great. I don't know. This is like 70s aesthetic meets, I don't know, 90s animation. Yeah, pink and green Egyptian vaporwave. Yes. I don't know, it's great. I think these are awesome designs, and I want to see if they like actually interact with each other. This is just so fun. So like, thank you for sharing. I can't wait to see what else you make. The next artist is Mr. Tongue, I don't know, expression, emoticon. You need a better username. I'm gonna be real, you need a better username. Anyway, this is that individual. Mr. Play. Yeah, okay, alright. Just say emoji. How hard is that? Alright, the only note with this is probably my best works. Now I'm gonna say, and I said it before, traditional art is awesome. Look at all of the scratching and all the details with all of the notes. I love that you've labeled this as side profile. It's like when you get into a video game and it's like a cyberpunk future game, and you have just this overload of information about a previously secret character, and you just see this huge document that shows everything, and it's overwhelming, but in like a really cool and intimidating way. That's how I feel about this. This is how that is designed, and I love it. It feels, yeah, like also the character themselves is very Dark Souls. I agree. You have like this armor piece that comes down, maybe even like pyramid head, Bloodborne-esque, or yeah, or Bloodborne. It's really neat. I like that you have the files. It's just cool. A ton of information. I think I would really like to see this digitized, because imagining this, but, or maybe even animated, I don't know. This is just really cool. I like this huge ass scythe too. It looks like it's a homemade scythe using like a railroad spike, a really long railroad spike that's been curved and bent and slapped onto a stick. That's so cool. You're not a digital guy, honestly? That's fair. Maybe if you don't want to keep it digital, what if you copied this? Well, I just want to see it animated. What if you copied this and then cut it out with scissors, and then you had like these different pieces that you could like move around and float and reorganize? That would be cool. Yeah, you could flipbook it too. This is just really neat. I want to see this as a real character, because this is already so strong and video gamey and cool. Very, very neat. The second piece. Oh, it's also so cool. Wait, there's a cleaver? Hold on. Wait. Let me organize my stuff. Cleaver? Where? Oh, well, hold on. Maybe here? Oh, yeah. Cleaver? That's awesome. Oh, this could be like Dead by Daylight, too. That's neat. Very, very cool character design. Very, very cool. Second piece. I'm such a sucker for like traditional, I don't want to call it gore art, because that's I mean, technically it's right, but it's like body horror and new horror, EXE horror, I don't know what to call it. This is awesome. I love the detailing of all the little scars on the face and all the little like wayward hairs too. This is neat. I heard Dead by Daylight. It's so funny. Neurons activated. But yeah, all of the little stitching here is super cool. You can see how big the gashes got on the face and just barely holding together these humongous just gashes or scars on the character. I love that. This is sick, by the way. This is so cool. And then this piece. Oh snap, I didn't end this. That's okay, Nightcapped. We'll do more in the future. We'll do more. This feels like, oh man, some older, maybe like mid-2000s game. It's just super, super neat, like where you're standing in like, I don't know, a misty town, and then you see this creature in the distance and you're just like, Jesus Christ. I have to fight that now? Oh. Very, very cool. He has telekinesis powers. I want this to be like a boss in a game. I really want this to be a boss in the game. I can imagine the big arcing swings where you have to like dodge this, or maybe even like the rope itself from this gets like caught up in something and he can throw things. It's really cool. The big spike here is neat. He would be so unfair if he was. Good. Perfect for a Dark Souls game. I don't know. I think this is great. Cool body shape. I love that everything is just mangled and the amount of detail is really neat. This is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. This is really cool. The next artist is PigLynArts. I love Tivon, by the way. Anyway, draw along. Yippee! First piece is Tivon, my OC. There was a little drawing station at my county fair, and I drew her, and I put her up. But we had things to do, so it was a bit of a quick doodle. Quick doodle. Star Trek? Star Trek. Wait, how do you get in this? Let me, hold on. Discord. I'm not accepting any more for today, because this is a part of a presentation, and I gotta set up everything, and it's a big whole thing. But you can enter in for next time. And so, yeah. If you want to enter in for Draw Along, it's in the Draw Along channel in that Discord that I just linked. So feel free to jump in. Show off your stuff. It's insane that you call this a quick doodle, by the way. I love just the, again, traditional art, dude. I This makes me want to do traditional art so badly. I love just how intense the hair is here and how it gets tied back into the braid. It's really neat. The highlighting in the hair, especially the highlighting. Oh my goodness. Look at that. You have like these shots of like purple in here. This is so cool. So I really like that you introduced purple into literally a green character. This is just really pretty. The detailing in the eyes feels delicate and just so purposeful. She's gorgeous. Really just such a nice piece. And then your second piece is fan art of your favorite character. And Dr. Stone, hold on, Asigri Jen? I'm never gonna say that right. I'm really sorry. I like him a normal amount. So the reflection has more like color in it than the character themselves, and I think that's really cool. Somehow it makes it feel like the reflection is more real than the character that we see. Hold on. Asagiri? Okay. I could say that. I'm an expert now. Hehehe. Also, let me zoom out. This is like a playing card. So you have the two sides of the Joker, right? But then you also have the mirror, right? So it's like the two sides of the character. I think that's neat. I just think that's neat. Really gorgeous. I love your attention to detail in how the cloth falls down the character's back. It's really nice. Is Blue Sky art Twitter? It's just another social media site. Maybe. He is a mentalist magician with a card motif. This works. This works perfectly. The fact that he's on a card is really cool. And of course I gotta show off the feet. But I'm here for the folds in the fabric. Like right here. Oh, beautiful folds in the fabric. And how we can see the underside of the shirt, cloak, etc. Really cool. I gotta show off the feet, okay? I have to, okay? Alright. Sorry. His whole design in the show revolves around being two-sided. Yeah, I really like your composition because it shows that off. It's like which is the real side, right? You have the hyper detailed one in the mirror, or like the one that you're probably more used to seeing, right? It's so cool. It's really nicely done. So yeah, thank you for sharing off your work. This is awesome. It's always such a treat. I love your coloring. The next pieces are by ThatUnknownSkull, who says, I made these two pieces based on panty and stocking screenshots. Based? That I can't show because it's not safe for work. Based. And I felt like these two fit the poses pretty dang well. Also, that these two are my latest pieces post art fight, so they were excellent to get back into the hang of things. I love just the dynamics of these two pieces put together next to each other, so that's why I wanted to show them both off at the same time. First and foremost, I love how expressive you've made this face. Like, the angle of the chest is great, the overall pose is awesome, but it's like the flip of the hair and the expression of the mouth and all the little details. Like, you have a nice shine here too. The green on the eyes is gorgeous. Exactly. Piglin, exactly. The angle of the head and how the horns curve as well is great. So like, I love the character's design. I'll zoom out. This is awesome, but I really like the way you've handled the face here. I think that's super great. And then we go back to this other character here. The detailing in the outfit, which would drive me nuts, by the way. This would drive me nuts. The flower is gorgeous, by the way. The tongue out expression is great, half lidded. It's so panty and stocking. Like, this is awesome. Great pose. Love the detail of the hair and everything. Tentacles? Tentacle hair? I don't know. Just super, super pretty. The arm up is also just, it's so panty and stocking. These two together, two great pieces, and they work so well together. Yeah, that's great. Very, very nicely done. Thank you for sharing. And like the story behind it makes so much sense. Please draw more. This is awesome. The next piece is by ScarletEuphoria. God, what a sick piece, by the way. Scarlet says, been trying to find a job when waiting what feels like ages till my start date, which is October 6th, which is really close, by the way. Good luck. It's been next to impossible to keep my hobbies up when I've been this upset. Being alone all day hasn't helped at all. The one thing that did was drawing my comfort character, my Sona. This character. It has been a genuine struggle. Wait. I'm reading the same sentence again. Her confidence and unwavering spirit is something I aspire to have. Hopefully someday I can finally reach that state of happiness and lack of worry. This is a bad bitch. This is like... Okay, so there's so much just love put into every little tiny bit. You have the attention to the muscles, which are all in the right spots, by the way. It's really hard to do. The angle of the face is so badass. All of the details are so cool. I love the little tiny nose ring. I love the big piercings on the ears. The shading on the goggles is insane. I love how you've handled this body type too. The shading and lighting on this like buckle is badass. All the little tiny claws, and even with the rude gesture, you mean this one? you mean this one? I love it. It's got so much attitude and so much just like, I don't know, in your face, just don't fuck with me. I love it. What a cool piece. Gorgeously rendered. I love all the little bits and pieces. I love just the rude ass gesture. Golly, what a cool piece. And you know what? Scarlet, good luck with your work coming up. It's coming up really soon. So yeah, good luck. I hope that they treat you well because you deserve it. And make that money, honey. Get your bag. I'm excited. So thank you for sharing that with us. What a great character and what an awesome piece. Next is ViXenVampiya. Have a good first day? Yeah, exactly. Have a good first day, Scarlet. This is ViXenVampiya's piece. Vixen says, or X says, I haven't really been drawing much, honestly. I've been busy helping others and IRL is just stressful. For the first image, I drew Nathan and Vixen, along with their bloody wings, which is these forms here. A little something that you made for my tabs in Toy House, but I guess to show off how much I improved with my art since Art Fight. All right, let's have a look. So I know that I'm covering up this character just a little bit. You're just gonna have to deal with it. All right. What a neat piece. I like the dichotomy of it, right? So you have like this split down the middle. It almost feels like verses, but because of how the character's coloring and with the background looks as well, you know that they're like related or the same character. Really, really cool.
Beautiful.
The expressions also are great. I love the intensity here and determination, and this is like sexy, I'm gonna fuck you up eyes. This is awesome. Really, really cool. And then we flip it over to their bloody wings variants, where suddenly it is now serious time, right? So you have like the expressions are more intense. I like that the colors are spattered in the background and stuff. And it is so cool how much energy you were able to put into, like, this feels animated. Like I could feel like their hair flowing in the wind, and there's like, just a bloody chill in the October air, right? This is awesome. This is really cool. What a great piece. I like just how balanced this works, and it tells you a lot about how the characters work. I think this is really neat. This surprised me. This next piece surprised me last night. Because X didn't tell me that he made this. So I was like pasting in images and going, wait a second, this is me. X says, for the second image, I made a little comic for Kai. Oh, I'll see you later, Corvus. Have a good rest of your day. Made a little comic for Kai. Just flat colors though. I'm never shading for a comic again. I'm with you 100%, dude. Shading for comics blows. About 4 months ago, I lost a bet to Kai, and in turn, she requested that I draw Vixen and Vampire Kai's outfit. So that's this down here, with Vixen's bloody wings out, which is these wings. I don't know if it's because we're both vampires, or if it's because Kai is biased, but it could be both. Hey, vampires dress like vampires, dog. I get it. But anyway, since it's Kai's current profile picture, which is I am a little donut right now, I also drew her as a donut. I kind of got inspired by Pickle Rick. Open the box, Vixen. It'll blow your mind. I turned myself into a donut, Vixen. I'm Donut Kai. ... Why? What do you mean, why? I love the expressions. The between these two panels is so funny. Like I was in a call last night and I was just giggling because I was reading this. It's so funny. Why? This was awesome. Great comic. I like the layout a lot. It reads really clearly. The I don't know, dual layout here, the similar layout of these like last two panels, it really is just so funny. You've injected so much humor into an already really funny interaction between these two characters, and yeah, it's something that I would do. I would definitely turn myself into a donut just to fuck with you. So this is great. Also just really well drawn. This is awesome. Good composition, really easy to read. Nicely done. Thank you for this. This really, it surprised me and it made me laugh. So like, thank you so much. The next piece is by SuperSparkey. Sparky says, I hope it's okay to show off some works in progress. The first piece was supposed to be a warm-up drawing, but then I attempted to add line art and then I didn't like the line art, so my brain said what the heck, and I started digital painting. I forgot how fun and difficult it is to paint digitally, and also trying black and white before adding the coloring for the first time. It doesn't look like you're struggling. I'm gonna be real, Sparky. It doesn't look like you're struggling at all. I love the texture that you're able to get a little bit in the eye here. I love just how clean the muzzle looks here. I love how clean the mouth is and the shapes of everything. This feels really 3D. This is really gorgeous. Please, for the love of God, please just finish this. The mouth looks great. Yeah, the whole muzzle, and like there's a little bit of darkness as it catches underneath the shape of the muzzle right here. Right here too. Really nicely done. This is really cool. Great pose and volume. I 100% agree. So this is awesome. I'm super excited to see you finish this. Also, I like the sketchiness of it as well. Like there's a little bit of sketch that peeks out behind here, and it just gives so much more movement to it as a whole. Please finish this. I'm super excited to see it. The second piece is an adopt work in progress. By the way, super cute character. Holy shit. Hopefully they aren't already sold because this is so cute. So, she is one of the 2 Vulpix themed adopts that I'm making, Sparky says. And I'm so excited to work on them. I really like her. Me too. Great design. So let's have a look at just this first one here. The detailing in the skirt and the fishnet stockings and like literally the fire on the shirt. This feels so well thought out. And like the messiness of the hair and how it's scrungly, it almost feels... Does she have a spike in her ear? Yes! Isn't that awesome? It's so cool. And how like there's one glove here and one spike here. This is like chaos and energy, and it's perfect for a fire character. literally so perfect. The hair is my favorite part. The side profile is great. It shows how the hair actually works. This is awesome. I also wanted to point out that the tail itself bends like the way fire does in like iconography. So this is really, really cool. What a beautiful character design, and like I know that this is gonna sell so fast. So I'm gonna put like a little timer on when you're done with this one, Sparky, and I'm gonna see how fast it sells. This is such a cool character. Thank you so much for showing them off. And for showing off your artwork in general. I always like seeing your work. The next piece is... Oh, it's CptnUncanny. Sorry, your piece was so funny, I had to have a funny introduction for it. So, you have entered in two pieces, the first of which, these two pieces are 5 years apart. Would you look at that? Would you just look at this? Exactly, Coyote Rex. You say the horrid blob guy, by the way, I think he's charming, is one of my earliest characters, if not the first, ever made in Blender around early January 2020. I love that you can see, like, I don't know anything about Blender, but when I tried to sculpt in Blender my very first time, I also got like the weird... I don't know, topography, I guess? It's really, really cool. I also like that you've decided to not just have the eyes, like, pop out, but you've bent in the corneas, and you can see it in the screenshot. This is hilarious. What a fun character. Seriously. You didn't know how to shade smooth? That's where I'm sitting. So, like, this is hilarious because it's just an interesting character design. But it's also like you've really roughly molded them and pocked their face, and like the nose is so wide, and like you can see that your brain is there, but you haven't quite like figured out how to model it exactly the way you want to yet. And I really like that. Alternatively, you have this, which by the way, when I first saw your page, I saw this Yumi model and I went, oh, they rendered someone else's Yumi model. No, you literally made this. Like, that's crazy. So your note here is, this Yumi model was the one started in December of 2024. I have occasionally touched up on it over a few months ever since. So look at how, it's insane, by the way, that we've gone from this to this in just a few years. That's insane. I love that you have like textured pages, and that you have like this gold, literal gold leaves that just it works. Like, this is a real thing that you could literally model off of this. Is this also Blender? I'm going to assume so. It's beautiful. And like, look at the detailing and the shine and the rendering, and again you have this like really beautiful metallic gold leaf. This is sorry for the French, this is fucking stunning. So when I first saw this, I thought this was like official, like on your Tumblr page, and I was like, wow, what the heck, they're really good at rendering. No, you're really good at modeling. So yeah, this is great. I love the little tiny cute cat mouth, by the way. The official model has like this wider mouth, and I much prefer yours, because like when I had a cat, she did this mouth and it was so funny to me. This feels very cattish and also like anthropomorphized and very expressive. I love the eyes, the detailing, and all of the little bits and pieces of the assets. This is awesome. Very nicely done. The amount of work that's gone into this is insane. CptnUncanny in chat says, this model has been a personal hell and passion. Dog, that's art. And it shows in everything that you do, that there's like some sort of internal struggle and external output, and it is beautiful every time. So like, I don't know, whatever you're doing it right. This is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your work, and for sharing such a for a lack of a better word, kind of a vulnerable glow up, right? Showing some of your very first work with some of your latest work. That is very courageous and really cool. Literally just proof that stick with what you're doing and you will become a superstar. Really, really cool. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your work. The next piece it is and are by Coyote Rex. I love your designs. I remember seeing you work on this individual, and I'm glad to see that they are all finished and beautiful. I'm going to pronounce the name wrong, and I'm sorry. Sver, who I just finished last night, and I added Mac, which we will see later, as well. Your designs are so iconic, by the way. You have this beautiful habit of mixing like orange and yellow and blue and white, and that's like, just, that's it. And it's always so nicely, I'm gonna zoom out again. It's always so nicely spaced. So like you could see this character as like a game character, because you have like the separate legs here, you have the super defined legs, the arms are a separate style, but it like works with the character's design. This is really cool, and you're able to incorporate so much detail. So like you have the dog tags, and this is how the straps work around the shoulders, and the design of the shirt. This is really, really cool. The hairstyle I think is maybe my favorite part, because you have this little flippy up here, and then you have the rest of it that's like trapped underneath the goggles. That's really neat. I'm sorry I didn't give a better description, but this guy is the pilot for that mech you drew a while back. Xenoblade or Titanfall 2? I think this character works in both of those, but I know that the answer is neither, but really, really cool. Also, just the detailing again. So like you have the straps here, you have also the energy from your lines is dope. I love that you can tell that this originally was a scanned in image. Really, really cool. You took some inspiration from a Titan pilot. I think you can kind of see it around, like, so you have the knee parts here, right? And then also with how the straps like roll around from the front to the back. That feels very Titanfall. By the way, based. And then the introduction of Mac. Oh, so cute. I love this. I love that the little I don't know if I got the size right, by the way. I made them dog sized, so I'm sorry if Mac is actually quite large. So I'm so sorry. But Mac, personalized saddle. That's awesome. I love that Mac also carries supplies, and they have a little customized, like, how they carry bags, and this totally works. This would totally work on a real dog, by the way. Like, the way everything wraps around, where things will connect, this works. And that's really cool, and it's something that I really appreciate with your designs, is you actually think about how clothing works, what's gonna connect with where. He's a horse-sized dog? Fuck! I should have asked! I made him too small, I'm so sorry. Use your imagination and make him really big when when I show him again. But yeah, I loved your character designs. You have this orange, right? And you have this blue. You have, I mean, this is brown, right? But it's a brown derived from yellow and orange. And you have the, like, it's just so thoughtful. And you've balanced everything out, and this looks like a real dog. And Mac deserves kisses. I love it. CptnUncanny says, I love how thick the legs are. It shows that he's meant to carry a lot of weight. Yeah, he is a husky, not literally a husky, but he is a husky boy. I like it. Just gorgeous. And again, like, you've scanned this in from actual real life pen and pencil and paper, and yet it is so gosh dang clean. This is cool. Your style is awesome. Please imagine the dog being at least 3 times as large. Thank you. And thank you for sharing, Coyote Rex. I always like seeing your designs, so this is a treat. The next artist wrote a story. So this is chapter 2 from what we've actually talked a little bit about in the in our last draw along. So this is a full chapter. I break it up into a couple different parts, and I go over these parts. So let me take a swig of water before I delve into this. So this is by Vespertheproto. Vesper says, it's still a pretty big work in progress. I haven't been able to use my computer to write for a few days, so the format's incorrect. Don't worry about it, it's fine. If you're interested in seeing more, you can reach out to me. Critique is accepted. I'm aware of a good number of flaws of this piece and would appreciate some positive feedback as well. So I'm not a writer. I occasionally read books. That is the extent of my writing knowledge, so I can't tell you about prose and about, you know, the proper words to put where and etc. Written art as well? Hell yeah. You can put animation into draw along, you can put writing. I don't think you can put music in here because I don't know how I'd show that off, but I love going over different forms of media, and so it's always just such a pleasure to get to see some writing as well. So in this chapter, I wanted to talk about how you have a really good introduction to how Cedar, which is the main character here, thinks. So here he's panicking. So he has just come home, and there are intruders in his house, and so he actively weighs his options. And while he is panicking, sure, likely due to life experiences, he's able to keep a level head and think about all of his options. So he could run away, but these people know where he lives. He could fight them, but it would cause a commotion that would get the guards involved. So instead he decides to face them and talk with them head on and try to diffuse the situation. I think that's really cool. It's a subtle introduction to how Cedar thinks. This here makes it seem like Cedar knows that this is somebody who is sick, and without hesitation, so one of the intruders is feeling unwell. And so Cedar, even though that he has been basically followed home and interrogated in his own house, he sees that somebody is sick, and without hesitation he wants to help, even during duress. And so these last two lines here are pretty spooky, in that he's seen this sickness before, and he knows that he actually can't do anything about it. And so that in this next section, but he knows someone who can. And so that is like, definitely he has seen this, and I wonder if maybe it was himself who had gotten sick previously, or maybe someone who is close to him, and he is able to alleviate the symptoms for now, but the beast within, the sickness within, will attack harder when the opportunity rises. I thought that was such a cool line. The beast within, that's terrifying. I also really like that the people who have come into his house, who are, you know, the instigators, I guess, in this situation, they're also like experiencing a little bit of group panic as well, because they know that their friend is sick and they needed his help. Right down here, the group panic is super well written. You can feel that they are desperate, and you can feel that desperation with the last paragraph being filled with questions. What do you mean, Forbidden Forest? What do you mean by beast? What, like, and I love that. It's not you as the narrator saying, and they were nervous and desperate. No, you show us that they're almost out of breath with how much that they want information, and that they're scared. I like that these intruders, Sapphire and co, they really aren't in control. Again, they feel desperate. It's a nice dynamic outside the typical, we're villains and we have demands and we are in control. This makes them seem like actual people. I also like that in this line, they actually threaten Cedar. And it's cute that he, yes, you'll beat or kill me, I get it. And he waves his hand dismissively. It's like, yeah, I've seen this stuff before, it's whatever, I know what you're going through, good luck. Overall, I think this is a really good chapter. It had some nice dialogue, and it has some subtle character interaction with Cedar, and I like that this sort of character interaction, I like this sort of interaction way more than the narrator just saying, oh, this character is shy, this character likes the color green, they have powers, etc. You're actually showing us rather than telling us, and that is really nice writing. Good job. You also have a second piece. The second piece is Midnight. She is also a work in progress, but I'd like to hear some questions about her character. So because I'm, on a time limit essentially, I can't ask a million questions, but I will ask, what kind of colors are you thinking about for this character? So I noticed she has fangs, and I know she has like, not curvy horns. It's very like straight and pointed and kind of sharp. What are you thinking about for this character? Because when I thought about her, I was thinking like maybe black hair or a pale complexion and red. You and me thinking the same. Primary black, horns are glowing red. Genius. That's awesome. So would you say that she is a more serious character? Because that comes across in this. I mean, the expression maybe not, but like in this design, she seems like a more serious or maybe even kind of a scary looking character. Would you say that that is accurate? Also, when are you gonna do a full body picture? I know that this is just a work in progress. This would be great. If you remember chapter 1, this is the same Midnight. So I'm pretty right on. Right on. How long do you reckon written submissions for draw along should be? So I know I actually just animated the whole thing through. So if I go here, this is about 4 pages long, if I recall. So this is like from page 1, I think page 2, page 3, and then page 4. So yeah, this is 4 pages long. If you want me to look through something that's longer, maybe like show me some snippets of different areas. 4 pages, easy. I can dissect it and find little areas to point out and pick out. But anything longer, I think that might be kind of difficult for me to summarize basically many chapters into like a 3-minute segment, But yeah, thank you so much for showing off your work. Vesper, also it's awesome that you actually like showed off writing, by the way. Please show off more writing in the future. That goes to anybody. This was really, really fun. I like reading. It's great. So yeah, thank you so much for showing off your work, Vesper. This is great. Then we have a couple extra individuals who entered in late. But that's fine, because I was actually in the middle of setting this up last night when these last 2 people joined in. So, this is by Horseweave. I really like this piece. I'm glad that you entered in. Bullying aside, this is beautiful. Horseweave says, this was a thing for another Discord about what to do for autumn season. Gust, this character on the left, Vanilla, and Cream are out with a wheelbarrow. What do you think, or where do you think they're going? I think they're going to go grab some leaves, and I think they're going to dump them into a big old pile. That's what I would do. I really just love the energy also in like your poses, the expressions. I like that characters are actually looking at each other. They aren't just looking in their general direction. And that gives like a nice sense of like actual 3D space. Also, look how cute Cream is. I love your style. I love the way you've drawn the ears. I bet they're gonna get pumpkins. Oh, that's such a good idea. Oh, that's really good. Also, Horseweave, I remember eons ago, when you were struggling with hands. You are struggling no more. Look at this beautiful hand. Look at this beautiful hand. Is Vanilla or Cream the mom? This is Vanilla. Vanilla is the mom, and Cream is the little one. Very cute. Also, look at this hand over here. Really, really nicely done. I like the posing, the composition is super cute, it's really clean, and I like that you actually put in, let me go back here, there's like a little bit of texture here, so it almost feels like maybe this is traditionally drawn and then brought in digitally. This is really, really cool. Very, very cute. I love this. This is such a cute family dynamic, and I'm excited. do you think, I know you're not here right now, Horseweave, because you are working, boo, but would you ever draw like what happens afterward? I still bet that they jump into leaves, but the pumpkin thing's pretty cute too. So yeah, thank you for sharing. This is super cute. And then we have Tineweaver. Oh, hi Horseweave, how's it going? Tineweaver says, this is supposed to be a quick doodle, China says. Very nice rendering on the emeralds, of course. But my favorite part of this is how, so you can tell that this is Silver the Hedgehog, who is like lifting up these two emeralds using the telekinesis. Also, I don't know if you meant to put this in there, but I noticed some heart shapes. A little heart here, a little heart here, a little upside down heart. But yeah, I really like how you've handled the telekinesis. It feels like water. It feels like super dynamic, and like these two bits here are actually moving, and it's neat. I like that. Great coloring too. Just super smooth. This feels very 3D. And then we have an animation. By the way, the fact that this is made with Clip Studio Paint, Clip Studio Paint is really hard to animate in. So let me zoom in just a little bit. So this was made with Clip Studio Paint, and so this is a part of one of Tineweaver's Ask Tumblr blogs that they run, and the askers have given Sonic a green ring to communicate through, so like a la Deltarune. So what is happening is both Sonic and Shadow, if I recall correctly, have been kind of transported to another realm. And Sonic is literally, if you'll notice at the very end here, he has an emerald inside of him. So he's like glitching out and is like, has been emeralded, basically. So it is of Sonic running into Shadow for the very first time, and he's experiencing some sort of chaos or chaotic instability. Really, really nice work with holding the pose. Like right here, that's great. So you have the glitch effect, right? But you have like this cringe, and it holds the pose and then falls. And the quills flopping upward as he falls down is great. This also just like really, really heartbreaking because you see his smile and then boop, pain. Oh, poor baby. This is really great. Your line work, I know that it's sketchy, right? But it feels so alive. It gives so much more fun shape and energy to what could have been a very static interaction. This is awesome. This is really, really great. I am so proud to see you animate. So like, thank you for sharing. And last but not least, I figure I might as well show off some of my artwork that I've done. Since our last drawing, I also have 2 pieces. So yeah, I wanted to show off this piece that I did, I think in May. Ew, I know, disgusting, right? So I wanted to show off this piece because I liked the overall composition. I liked how I rendered these different hands here. Who is this? They didn't submit their art into draw along. I know. Basically just cheating. I had painted like all of the different shapes for how the fingers worked and all of the lighting and everything, and just this super, super hot red that this character has underneath them, right? Yeah, I really liked it. They also have like a stomach mouth, so I wanted to have the tongue curl around and show that it was a tongue. So yeah, I wanted to show off this piece. I really liked it. Also, they had like this really cool green gold that I wanted to really highlight. It's neat. Yeah, they are tearing apart reality and then like the shadow hands are seeping through. I think it was really neat. So I was really happy with this piece. But this is from back in May. So I wanted to show also something more recent. So this is a piece that features myself, DatOtter, and if you remember from earlier in today's draw along, this is Gauntletier. Yeah. So I really liked just I wanted to show how they would all interact. So like maybe these two would sit on the bench and because he's a bigger boy, he would sit like along the side. Um the lighting also like in Hollow Knight, there's these street lamps. And so you have like I don't know, just this the little Luma flies that are up here and I don't know. Anyway, um I also thought that these two would be people who would enjoy tea, whereas I would be like coffee and strung out. I really liked how Gauntlетier's boy turned out. I like how the lighting of the little Luma flies was nice, and I really like how this one cup turned out. I don't know why, but just the way this was lit up and shaded made me really happy. So anyway, I wanted to share that. Betty, your character, would drink soda. That's pretty based. I like that. So anyway, here we go. That was it. Thank you for hanging out with me, and thank you for I know that today is Wednesday, and that's kind of cringe, right? Thanks for doing draw along with me today. That was a lot of fun. Thank you. I'm glad that I was able to do it under the allotted time, and I know. I tried to time myself. I really did. When will another happen? I want to do one every other month, maybe. That would be pretty good, because these are exhausting. Let me see if I can show. No, I can't show. Dang. There's a whole along the side of my screen here. There are 181 individual like panels, I guess, that I like animated and went all the way through for each one of these things. So like when I go from a character here to zooming in, that's an animation, to zooming down, that's an animation, and having it all connect, and doing stuff like for example, let me show something that was cool. When we have like a morph into this, and then we switch it around, and we have like this where we go from one panel to the next this is a lot of work. So I can't do it every month probably, but I'd like it to do maybe every other month, and that way we can actually have like good quality stuff and I don't run myself ragged. But anyway, enough about me. Thank you seriously so much for hanging out with me and for submitting your artwork for me to criticize publicly. It was a lot of fun. I literally wouldn't have an episode of like this without you guys submitting your beautiful artwork. So like, thank you. Let's go find somebody to raid. Let's see. We have so many people who are drawing and chatting, and oh my goodness. Do you have there's so many people. Okay. Here, let me go raid Jesse, because Jesse has raided us before. So let's go raid Jesse. All right. So I'm gonna set up the schedule for this weekend, and so it'll be a really good time. This weekend we're gonna be doing some Hollow Knight stuff. That'll be exciting. So yeah, I don't know. I'll see you guys this weekend. It'll be a good time. Thanks for spending the day with me. Be well, eat well, sleep well. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye. Get your butt out of here. Bye-bye.